Hello, hi, I'm back. I'm with Rebecca Homkes. She's a consultant, advisor and fellow at London Business School. Rebecca, thank you for your...
Very welcome.
It was a very practical talk about the realities of executing on innovation. So I had a couple of big questions for you. So the first, you talked about the reasons why companies struggle to execute on innovation well. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, I found that there's a lot of reasons why companies struggle to execute on innovation, and mostly that they're just not ready to. They are learning from startups, but actually taking away lessons that aren't helpful that could be executed, and they're approaching it in very traditional ways. So I talked about how they could get ready, which is having conversations about what they want to innovate, where they're going to do it, and how they're going to do it, learning more applicable lessons from startups, and finally adopting the approach to be a more iterative process, learning via milestones, and finally talking to people and having more conversations, which is what I found is one of the big things missing when it comes to executing on innovation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, say, quite a big question. You gave us a lot of advice on what you should be doing differently. There was like 5 lessons, and not from startups and things. So just give us a bit of advice on what you should be doing.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I talked about is I spent a lot of time in Silicon Valley, and I'm split between Silicon Valley and London. And I think there's a lot of things that can be learned from visiting tech companies, but a lot of people are coming back with lessons that just aren't very helpful. So what I went through was a few of the main lessons I see people asking for, and also what I would rather they learn. I mean, one of the most common ones is people come back and say they want to build a culture of entrepreneurism. I don't think most people want a culture of entrepreneurism, but a skill that a true entrepreneur has that you do want in your company is how to challenge fundamental assumptions. So I talked about some techniques of doing that. Another one that I hear way too much is we're trying to celebrate failure. We have awards for the best failure of the month. Great innovative companies actually don't reward failure, they reward learning. It's a nuanced difference, but the nuance is actually critical for existing companies. So how can we get better at building a velocity and a rhythm of constant, cheap, and fast experiments? And there's another myth that we're trying to learn of just being sexier. Like startups are sexy, we're trying to build sexier offices. There's actually some really amazing structured and analytical approaches to innovation that companies should take. So I went through a few of those lessons that I feel like are trying to be learned and instead we should learn. Now, when it comes to what we can learn as far as going to market, one of the biggest things existing companies do that hurts them when it comes to execution is they want new innovative products to get revenue and sales, and they track progress via revenue. Whereas what we want instead is to learn and track progress via milestones. And so that's another one of the big differences that we talked about.
Okay, look, very practical advice, so thank you very much.
Wonderful, thanks so much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.